Hello, San Diego. Welcome to What's Up, San Diego. I am Nathan Tomzak. I'm substituting for Luke today. Here we have Derek Davis, and today we're going to be just talking about a few things about some of his goals, some of his aspirations, and his story. So, how was your morning?
It was good. It was good. Woke up and got excited about coming here and doing this interview podcast. So
nice. What originally brought you to San Diego?
Well, I'm originally from San Diego.
Okay.
The only time I really ever left was probably like one time in high school, my freshman year.
Where'd you go?
Tennessee.
Okay.
I went to Tennessee for freshman year of high school, and then I came back. And then, ever since then I went to school to play basketball in Kansas called Sterling College.
Okay.
But then I came back. So, San Diego is pretty much home for me.
Nice. Is basketball your sport of choice?
Basketball is my sport of choice. I felt like I was good at football, but I didn't really like getting hit like that. So
yeah.
I stuck to basketball and stuff like that. So.
Do you think you were good? Were you good at basketball?
Yeah, I'm really good at basketball, but I didn't take it as serious as I should have when I should have, if that makes sense. But that's why I got into becoming a sports agent. Just wanted to stay around, the sports atmosphere and understanding the game on the court and off the court. So it gave me that belief and passion to want to do that next. And then my other passion is always helping people.
Okay.
So that's the biggest thing for me is wanting to help people. And that's why I also got into financial stuff. So that's why I own a sports agency and a financial company.
Okay.
What the financial company is financial planning. So, I help people understand what generational wealth is and how to set their family up for the future and themselves up and protect themselves, stuff like that. And that goes hand in hand with working with your athletes also. So I try to put two and two together with that and helping, people outside of athletics.
I like that. So how would you describe generational wealth briefly?
So generational wealth is, a lot of people don't like hearing about it, but there's people in your life that you have that create wealth and they're not protected. They don't have life insurance or they don't have anything set up. Mm-hmm. So if something happens to them, their family isn't covered anymore.
Yeah.
So generational wealth is having that protection and protecting the assets and passing it down. So for example, Kobe had that, where, his family will always be good because he set it up, generational wealth. So that's a lot of what we try to teach people, and a lot of people don't learn that in school and stuff like that. So you try to teach, people that and my athletes that I represent and stuff like that. So it all comes full circle, especially when you're just trying to help people, and that's a big passion of helping people.
So what other goals within this agency or within what you do? What other goals do you have?
Myself, to create the wealth for my family when I'm ready to get married and have kids. Also, my other goal is to build other foundations. I want to build a foundation for kids who can't afford to go to school, even though they got a partial scholarship. So just a lot of goals is based on wanting to help the community and understanding that, everybody had help.
Yeah.
It's just the right type of help and the right time to use your resources. So
I like that. So in terms of the future, where eventually would you want to live? You think you want to stay in California?
I feel like I would want to stay in California. I say this is where you retire, San Diego and somewhere in California, but I definitely want to start traveling more.
Okay.
And explore the world. That's one of my biggest goals, is to hit a few countries and stuff like that, because I haven't experienced that to the full effect. So that's one of my biggest goals out of that, is being able to have a company or two companies and build enough to where I can get up and just say, hey, I want to go here and try new stuff.
So besides work and thinking about the future, what other, and sports, what other things do you occupy your time with?
To be honest, I like to cook, man.
You like to cook?
Yeah, I really actually like to cook, and I try to learn different things. I try different stuff to try to, make meals and things like that. and I like watching movies. I'm more so of a homebody now.
Yeah.
Like
Especially with the quarantine thing.
even especially with the quarantine. But I feel like the quarantine was a blessing in disguise.
Yes.
I felt like if you didn't come out with a different mindset on understanding that if you're at home and you're not making money or you don't have things being creative, then you have to change your mindset. And also I think this quarantine was a blessing in disguise for a lot of people.
I agree. Because people needed a change.
Yeah.
Like life was getting very repetitive and very much the same. And like, and when there's change, people have to adapt. And then they're like, oh, I got to like learn how to entertain myself at home. I got to learn new skills. I got to learn how to cook.
Exactly.
But what was the last like meal you cooked?
I mean, my biggest thing, I like cooking steaks and stuff like that, pastas.
I should come over and feed me.
Right? I love cooking, man. And just trying new stuff, like going and looking at recipes to try.
I cannot cook.
Hey, the best thing my mom always told me is, as a man, learn how to cook and feed yourself, because when you get married and your wife is mad at you, you're gonna starve. So you gotta understand those type of things.
I like that,
And just me, with my personal life is I've been very blessed with a great mother who raised me, and my father figure and stuff like that, and just the people and mentors around me. And that's the biggest thing for me, is wanting to do the same thing that I finally got and I was able to endure. That mentorship is really big. And if you don't have the right mentors around you, it's hard to succeed at life. I'm also thinking about me and another one of my friends. We're gonna write an ebook, basically breaking down how to start businesses step by step, and basically like a game plan to life. What are your long-term goals? Like you asked me, what are your short-term? What are you passionate about? Who's in your inner circle? If your inner circle isn't talking about making progress and building with you, then you have to change it around. So my biggest thing is that's the growth I got over just the quarantine and building, like I said, building with the financial company, especially because a lot of people don't like the life insurance thought process, but it's like, you never know what could happen. So, why is your money not where it needs to be? Why your money making money for you? Things like that. So that's my biggest thing during quarantine, was trying to figure out my niche again and adjusting to, have all my ducks in a row when the quarantine finally is over.
Yeah, I like what you're saying with like having a good mentor. It does a lot. And you were also mentioning, like depending on your inner circle and like people you hang around with. And like, I really do think you are like a product of your environment, and you do become who you hang around the most.
Yep.
And if you're around people that bring you down and that don't lift you up and motivate you, then you're not gonna flourish as you could with people that encourage you and solid role models.
Yep.
And really anything can be a role model.
Anything. It doesn't even have to be a person.
Not even a person,
And that's my biggest thing and my biggest goals is having people to understand, if you lay it out on the table and dream big, you have to make a game plan to go towards that. And a lot of people are scared of that. A lot of people are scared to call themselves out on not doing what they need to be doing.
That's true. And you can even be your own role model or inspiration or a version of you, the best version of you. If you have that in mind, then you just like
go for
attack it.
Yep, you can go for it. So that's my biggest thing, man. Those are the type of things I've been doing.
Who's your biggest role model?
My mom and Marshall.
Your mom and Marshall?
Yep, and Javin. Those three people have really been. Javin is Marshall's girlfriend, so those three have really been, really on me, and like I said, having those people who say they'll be there and not let you down, and they've been there each step of the way of trying to get you into a better place. And it's refreshing to know that once you're in that better place, their reward is you being in that better place. And that's where I want to get with other people. Like, I'm not trying to help people or make a difference in people's lives for a reward.
Yeah.
It's refreshing for you to come back to tell me thank you.
Yeah.
I'm here, and stuff like that. So those are my biggest role models, and it's no matter how old you get, it's never too late to add a role model or to add another mentor into your life. You can never have too many mentors.
Yeah.
So,
Because there's always something to learn
always,
from other people.
always, and that's the thing too. People have to be willing to learn and take criticism. I've dealt with that where I don't do well with criticism.
Yeah.
So, and I'm learning.
Not a lot of people do.
Yeah,
It's hard. The ego gets in the way.
It does. The ego, being defensive,
Being stubborn,
Yes,
prideful.
man.
No, I know.
yeah, like, and that's
And then you
that's
shut
the
everything
maturity.
out.
Yep.
Shut everything out.
And you get the maturity going, and you get to understand that if you just listen a couple of times.
Yeah, you have to assume that the person you're talking to knows something you don't, because that's probably always the case.
Yep. It is. Even from kids and stuff like that, you can learn.
So I really enjoyed speaking with you, Derek. I'm definitely very curious about the financial stuff you were mentioning. I'll definitely have to do some more research on the generational wealth and whatnot. And I hope anyone listening would love to hear more about what you have to say and the stuff you're working on. So I had a great time.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. Maybe one day you could make me a steak.
Gotcha,
And
man.
I had a great time speaking with you. Thank you for coming through.
I appreciate it. Had a good time too.
Also, I want to touch base on, social injustice and teaching our community how to build and become business owners and CEOs of companies. Being more powerful and growing our community instead of, worried about the wrong things and creating opportunities for many of us that want the help and want to grow as people. Fight for justice in other ways, vote and stuff, things like that. So, like I said, the quarantine has been really a blessing in disguise. Seeing the protests and stuff just makes you want to become a better person and make a difference in the communities and the Black communities and the minority communities and, just understanding that we can make the change ourselves and not complain about poverty and hold ourselves back from opportunities that are out there. We just need to educate ourselves, give ourselves knowledge and grow upon that. And I just think people have to be more open-minded to learning these things. I'm blessed to have mentors around me and things like that, justify and instill in me how to make a difference, how to grow as a person, and change the perspective on how people view you and people view other things. We view things in a way that, we don't understand. We tend to be ignorant to certain things, and that's why we have to educate and knowledge and read, talk to each other, support each other. It's hard. We don't support each other. We don't support Black businesses, our own businesses. We're quick to support other people's businesses, but when it comes to each other's business, it's an ego trip and a constant battle. So in reality, that's really what I'm growing towards and educating people on. And the movement that I want to instill in people is there's so many ways to be successful and there's so many ways to grow as a person and make a change. So that's really what it comes down to. Today has been amazing. I appreciate the opportunity of talking about these things, just touching base on social injustice and understanding that there's other ways to make a difference. I mean, I support all protests and everything like that, but I also want us to act in the most intelligent way possible. We're more powerful than we think we are as a people, and I just want us to understand that there's ways to even be more powerful as a person, and that means a lot more. when you're successful as a person and you make a difference as a person in your life and the people around you, to build them up. And that's how you do. You build communities up and teach other people how to build on top of that. And that's how you create a change.